last month or so, maybe then a little bit down from where they were at the beginning of the year. What do you think has gone into that?
Well, I think teams are doing a consistent job of doubling him on third down, trying to take him away. So, we gotta find ways to get him the ball, keep getting him the ball. And that's something that we're working on and wanting and willing to do. But I have been happy with how some other guys have stepped up. You talk about Dalton, you talk about Khalil. James Cook in the passing game has been fantastic. So, I think the more that we spread the ball around to our guys are going to give him more opportunities one-on-one. I think teams are starting to realize that. Or maybe, if you double him, you're taking away another guy from the middle of the field, which is giving everybody else some opportunities. So I think Steph understands that, but make no mistake, we still got to continue to get him the ball.
You kind of answered the question there, but just in your mind, how much of a concern is it? I know there's a balancing act between getting him his targets versus spreading it around.
Yeah, no concern. I'm just trying to come out here and there's no secret. Steph's our best player. He's first in our reads and a lot of our concepts. He does a great job of getting open. There's been some opportunities that we haven't cashed in on that 8, 9 out of 10 times we usually do. So I'm not worried about that. We're gonna keep working hard and keep continuing to give him his opportunities and his targets, and everybody else is gonna make some plays too.
How big of a challenge is Parsons?
He's a heck of a challenge. Him and their D-line is really damn good. They fly around. They got some guys that just absolutely wreak havoc. So we're going to have our hands full in our protection meeting tomorrow and, make sure that we know where Levin is at all times. But he's not the only guy on their D-line that can go. So we gotta come out and we got to play our best game on Sunday. And, that's the feeling that we have towards it right now.
Earlier in the year, they were
turnovers. What's the challenge in that when you know that those guys are ball hawks?
Yeah, they're smart, they're savvy. Obviously, with Gilmore, he's a vet. He's kind of running routes for people. He recognizes things. He recognizes splits. And the other guy's got the most touchdowns or pick sixes in a year. So they are very aggressive. They like to jump things. And they play really good with each other. So we got to have our hands full. I got to make sure that I'm not, scripting my passes and making sure I'm switching my eyes up and my feet up so they're not able to jump some of our routes, and just make sure we're good in protecting the football.
I know earlier in the year they were playing a decent amount of man, especially on third downs. Is that still kind of they're not afraid to play man?
Yeah. I think you can call it a zone. Because they're not really matching guys on first and second down, but it plays out like man. So a lot of what they do on third down is man. So again, it's gonna take some individual battles, and we got to win those battles. And it's no easy task when you're playing against a team this good.
Josh, you referenced his plans 6 pick sixes. Does that seem almost impossible that could happen?
Yeah, to have 6 interceptions, or 6 pick sixes, let alone 6 interceptions, is pretty amazing. So I'm just trying not to be added to that tally.
What do you see? Why is he able to do that?
I think it's keyed up with what their D-line is able to do, put pressure on quarterbacks, and allows them in the back end to kind of understand that those quarterbacks don't have all the time in the world to throw. So when those quarterbacks are looking one way or another, that ball's coming out. So again, I think that's a big achievement for not just him, but for their D-line in order to get the ball out quickly and allow those guys to go and make those types of plays. So, it's a really good defense. It's a really good team.
What was it like being in that scrum that turned into your touchdown? What's going on?
That was awesome to see. That was like the first time I've ever in my life felt my legs turning and kept the pile going. And then looking, back at the video copy, I didn't do anything. It was just the lineman pushing me in. So it just kind of speaks to who those guys are to, get their nose in the pile and start pushing for the betterment of the team, and worked out for us.
When you're that close to everybody else in the pile, you come face to face with any of the teammates and kind of look at them.
Yeah.
Is it a weird stare down?
Yeah, Spence was kind of in the front there, and he's like, I don't want to pull and get a penalty. I know Mitch was right to the side of me. Mitch got a big celebration out on that one. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was pretty pumped up, as he should have been.
Josh, He was asked about Buffalo and just the atmosphere here for home games, and he had something to say about it. I mean, everybody knows about Bills Mafia. Why is the home crowd so important in a game like this?
Well, I mean, again, we're in December. It's not going to be the warmest of days/nights. And, you know, what a home team and a home crowd can do to an opposing offense is what we need. You know, we need Bills Mafia to be loud. We need Bills Mafia to show up in numbers and be ready to root us on, because we absolutely need them this game especially. So any false start, any delay of game, and even just the energy and the flow of what's going on, we feed off of Bills Mafia. So that's going to be a huge part of how we attack and how we win this game is going to be with the crowd.
Josh, did Mahomes reach out like after the exchange you guys had, which got a lot of attention because of how he acted, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he reached out to me, and I was just like, it's football, it's a game of emotion. You know, I know he didn't mean anything by it. I know the cameras kind of caught the last few seconds of what we were talking about, but you know, he's an ultimate competitor. He wants to win, and you know, that's why he is who he is.
Josh, you talked about emotion. A few weeks ago, you had the John Wick comment, and now it just feels like this offense has their swagger back, the confidence back. Does it feel like this is the offense that you guys have been expecting to be all year, kind of clicking?
I mean, I think you could say, I think we still, myself included, left some opportunities out in the field this past game, had some mental errors. So again, we're just trying to strive to be the best versions of ourselves and put our best, you know, game and best ball out there on the field every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. And it's no different this week. We got to put our best game together to beat this team.
Showing your emotions a little bit more, letting your emotions on your sleeve kind of play out recently?
I mean, maybe. I'm just trying to feel the flow of the game and just trying to be what I need to be for this team.
So big of a sample size with Joe Brady still, but where are you feeling the biggest differences, whether it's, you know, behind the scenes in the room with him, game days, like where's the biggest difference with him at the helm?
You know, I don't know if I can honestly answer that question. You know, guys are just, we're working really hard right now.
Communication been like with Joe during games? Like, are you talking to him on the sideline some? Like, how's that flow kind of been?
Yeah, and obviously I'm talking with him through Kyle and through Shula, but on the sideline, you know, I'll put the headset on and talk with him and what we like, what we saw this last drive, what the defenses are trying to do to us. So just trying to stay in constant communication and understanding why he's calling certain things, and just trying to be another him on the field. You know, I got to be a part of him and what he's thinking, and just try to go out there and execute.
James Cook has 14 catches the last 3 games. Can you talk a little bit about his development as a receiver, as you've seen it, and kind of what that does for the offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's always been kind of a dual threat guy coming out of the backfield, even in college. The more times that we get him the ball, seems like good things happen. So we got to continue to find new ways to, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. But I think, you know, if you want to put a linebacker on him, sometimes it's tough sledding if they're not fast enough. And, you know, he's very elusive with the ball in his hands, and he's been making some fantastic plays for us and taking advantage of the opportunities that he's had.
This is more general, and you know, you've talked about knowing what's at stake, and obviously the focus has to be on Dallas. But how much talk is there amongst you that the opportunities, right? I mean, what, 6, 7, and 6 teams in the AFC? I mean, they've kind of come back to you a little bit. The opportunity is right there for you. Do you guys?
Well, that's how we've always felt. I don't think we've faltered or wavered in terms of the thought process of each and every single game. But we're not trying to look at the big picture right now. We're just trying to take it one game at a time.
To kind of paying attention to what's going on? And I mean, does it give you maybe a little added motivation when you see the other scores go the ways they go?
We can't control what other teams do. We can't control whether they win, whether they lose, you know, how they prepare for certain games. We just got to focus on what we can do, and that's having a good week of practice and putting together a good game plan for the Dallas Cowboys.
You referenced it after the game, the week that Sean had last week. It was challenging, obviously, for him. In regards to that article, there were some references about your relationship with Sean. I'm just wondering if you could maybe set the record straight as to what your relationship is with Sean, and whether you thought the portrayal of that in that article was fair or accurate.
Well, I didn't read the article, so I couldn't tell you if it's accurate or not. But from what you're talking about, our relationship honestly has never been stronger. We meet once or twice a week in his office. We talk about football. We talk about life. And it's been fun to watch him grow as a coach over the years that I've been here. And obviously I've been growing as a player and as a student of the game. But to see how he's changed, when we first got in, he wanted his hand kind of in every single pie. And I think over the years, having the guys that we have in this locker room, he's learned to trust his team and trust his players. And it's been really cool to be a part of that and just see the trust that he has in me grow. So, yeah, I love Coach. And, again, I stand by what I said during the game or after the game. And, our relationship's only going to continue to get better as well.